Hey everybody, what's up? How's it going? Today I just wanted to make a couple of announcements and just kind of generally do a check-in with you guys. I was on a couple of podcasts the last couple of months and I neglected to mention them on this channel, so I'm going to do that now. The first one was a channel called Cosmoetica with Dan Schneider. I'm going to link that video in the description. I had a great discussion with Dan, so you can check that out if you want. The other one is on Hard Knox Talks with also Dan and Donna. That was a great conversation as well. I loved talking to them. Please check it out if you're interested. Again, the link will be in the description. And finally, I'm going to be on the channel Addicted to More with an underscore at the end. It's my friend Mike's channel. I'm going to be talking with him on that channel tomorrow, actually. So probably by the time I post this video, I will have a link to put in the description for that conversation. Mike and I'm sure we'll talk about many things, but amongst those things, I suspect we will be talking about relapses and microdosing. So that will probably be interesting. So I recommend that you check it out. With that all out of the way, what I've been thinking about for myself a lot lately, I had this opportunity when I was removed from society and sent to prison and then left on house arrest to kind of separate myself from this world that I've been steeped in my whole life. What being removed from society for 3 years has actually given me the opportunity to realize is that you actually don't have to do anything that you don't want to. I'm kind of in this process of, evaluating everything in my life and asking myself, is this something I want? Or is this something that I don't want? And is this something that I have to, engage in on some level? Or is it something that I actually don't? For example, I have realized about myself conclusively that I don't like having this device in my pocket all day long where anybody can just text message me or call me anytime. Those things, they torment me all day long. I don't know. Even if I'm trying to ignore it, it almost makes it worse. But I kind of just accepted that as part of life. But going to prison and just not having one for a period of time has, made me realize that, it doesn't actually really matter if I have one or not. We don't realize that it was not that long ago that nobody had one of these ever. And I sort of miss that. I want to go back to that, actually. I just don't like it, and I don't think that the random time when it might actually be an emergency that somebody actually needs to get a hold of you right away, it doesn't justify just constantly having, everybody able to get a hold of you all of the time, at least not for me. Plus, I just don't want to have the internet in my pocket all the time. It's like I don't need that. It's not good for me. I'll give you another example. I realize that I want a day-to-day life that involves not having to drive anywhere. I like the slower pace of having to get myself around on foot or by running or riding a bike or whatever. And I learned that just because I spent so much time without a vehicle now that I just don't think introducing one back into my life just because it's something that I can do and it's available and that's what everybody does. That's not a good enough reason for me. I'll give you one more example. If you guys have been following this channel, then you probably know that I'm quite a minimalist now. Going through the criminal justice system and basically coming out the other side with nothing has actually taught me that having less is more. I like having as few things as possible. I just find living that way so much more fulfilling and satisfying. And realizing that changes my relationship to money, right? Because I don't just want things indiscriminately. I spend much less than I make even now, which is, not that much. So then I have to evaluate, what do I want to spend my time doing if, making a lot of money doesn't really make sense to me because I don't need to spend a lot of time trying to make a lot of money for what? I don't want any stuff, so I already have everything I want basically. So those are just some examples of what I've been thinking about and how I've been evaluating my situation. And I just feel grateful that I've been given the opportunity to really evaluate these things and ask myself these questions. I think a lot of times in our minds we tell ourselves this story about who we are and what we want out of life, and actually a lot of times it's not accurate. It's this imagined perspective on our lives, but it's if we actually played that out, it wouldn't be as fulfilling or gratifying or satisfying as we we imagined it would be. So I'm really trying to come to terms with what actually makes me happy and what actually doesn't. I now have this opportunity to just kind of construct my life into what I want it to be, and I'm getting close to where I actually have total freedom to do that. Again, I'm not quite there yet because I'm on parole until a year from now. Anyway, those are just some of the thoughts that were on my mind. I just wanted to kind of put this camera in front of me and sort of do a one take on how I've been doing and what's been on my mind. Just say hey to all of you, and thank you for watching. And I hope your new year is going well so far. So take care, and I'll see you soon.